That guy stole my freaking ratchet wrench. I seen it. That's mine.
I love four-wheeler drift.
No stranger to drifting, no stranger to competition.
I love four-wheeler drift.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Clipping Point. My name is Captain Ben. Joining me with is Mr. Tim Murphy.
That's me.
Yeah, you're there. You're like, what's going on over here? And of course, Mr. Paul Murphy.
I'm here.
You made it.
I made it.
Congratulations.
He
Okay, good. And let's go ahead and welcome our special guest of the evening.
You can have sound effects for him?
Wait, no,
We got to get some like cheers and applause and stuff.
Yeah,
We got to work on that.
It's in the docket.
I'm going to remind you.
Yeah, please do. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and welcome our special guest, Mr. Matt Shulman.
What up?
You know,
How's
we
it
need
going?
laugh tracks.
Can you hear me?
We need some. Yeah, we can hear you. We
All
can
right,
hear
cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
How's it going?
you. Good. We need to get some laugh tracks. Like Friends and stuff. When we
Like
say something.
Seinfeld. Like Seinfeld.
So every time we say something, we have like laugh
In the
tracks behind us.
background?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Live audience.
Yeah, live audience.
Live audience.
Yes. So Matt, so how we doing? All right.
Good.
Yeah. You said you were working on a car just until right before the show, right?
Yes. Trying to be way prepared and not last minute.
Yeah.
Maybe last minute.
Yeah. He's still got almost a month,
Yeah.
so you should be good.
Yeah. That's I wanted to have it done and ready way before. So
Okay.
that is the
Good
goal.
deal. So we're gonna get into your car because I have a lot of questions about your car.
Yep.
But I think as we're talking before that, we want to talk a little bit about where you came from, what brought you into drifting, if you've done any sports prior. Because as Ben was mentioning earlier, that prior to Klutch Kickers, we were kind of in our little pocket down in South Florida, right? We were kind of numb to a lot of the other guys that were up in northern Florida or even Texas and those areas. And New Orleans, all that area, like Georgia and everything. Klutch Kickers kind of put us in the mix with a lot of people we wouldn't normally get to see and meet. And I think one of the first live streams that we did with Klutch Kickers, one of the most commented comments in the chat box were like, get Shulman, get the Shulmanator, the Shulmanator. So we, even though we see you all the time, we talk to you at the events and everything, we built a friendship. We'd like to know more about, who is this man? Who is the Shulmanator? So where did you start? Did you start in motocross? Did you start in car shows? Did you start in drag racing? What got you into the car scene?
So I rode BMX for years, and all my friends rode BMX for years, and I've always loved cars, trucks, monster trucks, all that kind of stuff. I've always been into the good stuff with engines or whatever. But back when I was a kid, I couldn't really afford that, so I did BMX. That was the closest thing I could get to, doing tricks and all that kind of stuff. And then my buddies all got Subarus and Deborah X's and Prez's, all that stuff like that. And basically, I fell in love with Subarus, and now I'm like, why? But back then I was like, oh yes, please, like these are amazing. And I told myself I was not getting any of the car for my first car if it wasn't a Subaru WX. And I basically finally got one. And that's where I started, tinkering with bolt-ons and downpipes, intakes, all the fun bolt-on stuff with Subarus and all that. That was my first car that I had. Didn't blow it up somehow. Drove it like crazy. And that was how I got really into cars. And all my friends had the Subarus, and we did, had fun with them. And then my other friends who didn't like the Subarus had all the drift cars. They had all the 240s, back then it was only 240s. It wasn't really anything else like Z's or Vets or anything like now, but they all had the, S chassis. And I didn't know much, but all my friends were like, why do you have a Subaru? They suck to work on and this and that. And I'm like, they're the best thing ever. And now I'm like, I totally agree with you 10 years later.
Yeah. I get it.
So
You're a Subi guy.
well, was.
Was it?
And then yeah, so then where was I at? Subaru G4. Okay, my friends had G40s. I was living in Claremont, that's where Njuku is, and that's my hometown. I'm in Orlando now, but before, I knew all the Njuku guys like Ant and all them, and Brett Levon and Brian Penn and all the guys over there, and Adam Green. And I didn't have a car back then, but we would have local car meets, and I'd pull my Subaru, and like I've always loved the action of getting the car sideways, but like I couldn't do that in a Subaru, but I always wanted to. So then, I'll hang out with them. They go to the car meet to see their cars, and I love their cars. And then, all that stuff started to happen. And then I knew Adam LZ through BMX over the years, and we were great friends. I met him when I was like 11 or 12 at the skate park, and he would come down from Connecticut to stay at his, I think, sister's house in Winter Garden that was down the street from my local skate park. And we met back then, and we just, would ride BMX all the time. He was in the cars, I was in the cars, and then when he came down for college, he bought the 240, and we were just good friends. And I would basically go to every single OSW event, drift event, like literally every single one, and just like hang out, help him film, do whatever he wanted me to do, and then make friends. And I basically was in OSW for like 2-3 years. Well, 2 years without a car. So I was just there hanging out, learning, just filming, learning how things work, working on stuff, and just getting the most experience I could. And at the time, I wasn't even like focused on the experience. I just kind of wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. And then, which led to when I graduated high school, I didn't, was I working for Adam when I bought a 240? So I bought an S13 shell. I think I was 17 or 18. It was a shell. What was it? It was a rolling 240 with an RB25 in it. And I bought it for literally $2,000. Like the engine was good. Like I swear to you, $2,000. And I got it. And I was like, I'm going to fix this up and make it work. And that never happened.
It's an RB, man.
Yeah, well, it was literally a shell. And fun fact, I'll try and be quick. I'm trying to, get to the point. But
it's fine.
We're
here for you, man.
Okay, that shell that I didn't know, that was Alberto Big Boost's first S13 shell that I didn't know was his until I bought it. He goes, dude, that's my old car. And I'm like, what?
Oh, wow.
So I literally bought his old car from some guy in Tampa, and I didn't even know about it until he told me after I bought it. It was a cool thing. So that was cool.
Right.
And, never drifted that because that didn't. I literally bought it and put it in the driveway, never moved. I sold it, made money on it. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, well, what's next? Mm-hmm. I bought another hatch.
Oh, jeez.
And I meet this kid at AutoZone in the hood of OBT downtown Orlando. And I was like, hey, I want to compression test this KA in this car. Because the car was super clean and it was actually pretty good. And I was like, I want to compression test this. And I didn't really know stuff back then.
Right.
And it was 90 PSI across the board. I'm like, oh, it's perfect. I want it.
This is mint. It's mint.
So I was like, I got it for $1,900. So it was me and my buddies. And again, I knew a little bit back then about everything. And then I buy the car, 90 PSI across the board. The car actually ran great somehow.
Right. Well, at least they were even, right?
Yes. It wasn't like 190 or whatever, but
yeah.
Sure. That thing probably went forever, but my friends were freaking me out about it. But I still bought the car for $1,900. And I'm starting to drive it, and this thing is sketchy. Like literally probably 1.5 inches of toe in on the front. I'm driving on 408 at 60 miles an hour. The car is screeching because it has so much toe in.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
And I'm just like, it was the first 240 that I bought that was running and driving. You know what I mean? It was my first like actual car that moved on its own power, drift car that was cheap. I got it, whatever. And we're driving. And my friend in his passenger seat, he's just like terrified he's gonna die because he was such a scary driving the way home.
Just like a meme.
Yeah, and it's funny. I told myself the first day I bring home a drift car that runs, I'm doing a burnout in my parents' driveway.
How'd that go?
I get home, I literally pull in the driveway. Literally not even a second later, I just dump the clutch and do the sickest KA burnout ever. And my dad comes out, what the, freaking out. And I'm like, I told you I was going to do it, and I did it. So then I'll try to be fast. So basically, I sold that car like 2 weeks later and made like $700 on it. And then I found this black SR hatch 240 that I got for $4,100. It was like stock SR, super clean chassis, mint interior, no angle, no handbrake, stock SR, had some arms. It was like super clean car. It was really, really good. And that was my first like actual drift car that I drifted and learned in. So stock SR20, no angle, no handbrake. Basically just learned how to drive just by going for it.
Right.
I bought the car, did nothing to it. I think I put a kit on it and wheels. Went to OSW for a learner's day, and like it just from watching so much, watching Adam drive, watching others drive, being around drifting for so long, I basically got in the car and I just kind of knew what to do, and I kind of felt natural with the car, and just there I was doing figure eights within 5 minutes of learning and all that. And then I think one of the instructors was like, "Hey, go on the oval," and I'm like, "No, I'm not going on the oval. I'm too scared." He's like, "I guarantee you'll do it." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to go on the oval." He's like, "Just do it. Just do it. I promise you, just try it." And I didn't do the bank. I linked the figure eight oval first try ever. Like first time you ever try, I linked it. And I was like, dang, this is sick. Like this is like the coolest thing ever. Like I love this. Like, and back then I had no angle. I'll go to the junkyard and buy $5 stock 240 size tires and just drift on those and burn them off.
Right.
Yeah. Do what I could back then. I was working at a car wash back then. I wasn't making actual money.
Right. That was the days of the used tires.
Right. And I would I don't know if I should say this, but like I never registered that car. Never insured it. And I would drive it from my house in Claremont, Groveland area to OSW, there and back, stuff the whole thing, all my stuff, and drive every event, just drive as much as possible, over and over and over again.
Yeah, cops probably felt bad for you.
It never got caught. I was riding dirty, but I was fine. I grew up in compound too.
Yeah, did you utilize, or did you ever mess around with the sim stuff before you started drifting?
So that was later, after I started having some seat time. Adam had a sim at his house, and at the time I was working for him, and he had it there. So at the time, this was before he had a warehouse and everything. Me and Alberto's job was to go to his personal house and work there. And then whenever I get off work, I go in the simulator and drive for like an hour or two. And that definitely helped with some hand-eye coordination. And mostly the biggest thing helped me with was like left foot brake and braking stuff. Not braking stuff, like braking stuff. Yeah. That's where I really learned some simple car control for sure. And then other friends got them later on. I've driven on it many times. It definitely helps cure the itch to drive. But to me, it's not the real thing. But it does teach you a lot of small things you don't recognize in the moment.
Muscle memory kind of stuff.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that I had a friend, Juan Hanau, he's one of our friends down here. He's an OG from back in the Nopi drift days and everything. When I was starting to drift, the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because I remember you talking about the left foot brake and how the sim helped you with left foot braking. One of the things that helped me was Juan told me, wherever you're driving, use your left foot to brake. So I started doing that, using my left foot to brake, and you start learning how to nice and slow down and nice slow stops, and that. Ever since then, I for a long time I wasn't an e-brake guy, because like you, I didn't start with an e-brake, so I was a clutch kicker, right? Yeah. Literally. And then as I started to, I think I'm more reliant on the handbrake now more than ever. The last OSW event, I told myself, I'm not going to touch the e-brake whatsoever. There's no reason to touch the e-brake on the skid pad. So I basically, like, my whole time, I'm not touching it, because I felt dependent on it. Right. Try to keep myself. You want to be able to use those tools when you need them, but not overuse them either.
For sure.
I want to kind of.
I lost you guys in the camera.
Oh, we lost.
There's no video on the thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you lost. Well, Ben will work on that. You can still hear us though, right?
I can hear you fine. It's just no video.
Okay. Well, while Ben works on that, I'm going to kind of rewind to season 1 of Clutch Kickers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you weren't your own program at that time. I think you were still with Adam LZ. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I had my own thing. It's just we transported our cars in the same rig back then. There you go. The camera's on.
Okay. All right. So at what point And then in season 2, I believe you had made that transition to just
Yeah.
be your own team to focus more on
Yeah.
on drifting.
Yeah.
How was that transition? Did that enable you to focus more on drifting? And how
Yeah.
was learning from Adam? How were you able to take that experience from Adam and apply it to your own program?
So that's the biggest thing I think why I've kind of progressed pretty quickly, because like before I had a car, I'm a very visual learner, and like I basically knew all the things not to do way before I would do them, and I was able to take that into consideration, and just like that helped me progress so much from watching him learn and his friends learn and being around it every day, and how to properly set up cars, how to properly work on cars, how to properly drive, and tips and tricks that he would learn from himself. And learning from him definitely helped a lot, and like definitely sped the process up a bunch.
Okay.
But no, Klutch Triggers season 1, I basically like I saw that they announced it, and I was like, I'll wait. I'll watch the first round or 2, I think, and I'll go with Adam. And I worked the first rounds with him, like crewed for him. And I was like, this is really cool. I kind of want to do this. And I was like, well, I can go do it in my car right now, but like I really want to do it, I got to rebuild the whole car.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically tore the whole car down, complete shell, rewired the whole thing, different turbo, ECU master, changed everything, painted the car, kit, like made it like not a missile. And like I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And went, and it was great. The first round was really good. Second round was okay. And then the third round did I pull my car season 2 or season 1? 2. I don't remember.
I don't know.
I'm curious if at any point did you check your PSI
What?
on the engine?
The compression?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. I checked compression the event before it went, and that engine that was in that car was an old engine. I beat the crap out of that thing for years. And it was like, for an old 1J, it was like 140, 135 across the board.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good for an old 1J. Like,
Better than 90.
Yeah. But like, and then, that battle with Nier, and I was like, I know I gotta, what I would do is, I'm sorry, I was much away from the question, but I just got into this. I remember.
It's all right. It's all right.
I remember, I think season 2, it was season 2. It had to be season 2. Yeah. Season 1.
Season 1.
Season 1, round 5, it blew up. Right.
Right.
So
season 1, round 5.
So what I would do is I would have a looser set of tires for slower cars, and then a really grippy tire for the FD cars. What I would do is in practice, I'll take a set of Grivas and have mediocre grip, some toe, and basically drive on that with like 2-3 laps. Okay, I know how the car's gonna feel on that. I go back to the pit, swap the really grippy tires on, 2-3 laps on that, and just see how it would go, because there's not enough time to like change the car drastically to be competitive from a Z to a pro car. So I'll kind of just dictate what I had to do to get to that point to be competitive, either with a Z or a pro car. So I knew I was going to go against Nier, and put the Achilles 1-2-3s on, aired them down, and I knew I was going to have to give it like everything I got. So I did a really good lead run. I was like, this is like really serious driving. I think after that lead run, I was like, Klutch Triggers is like so competitive, and it's like literally pro spec level driving, if not close to Pro 1. And it's wild when you're out there with those pro cars, because like I've been tandeming and driving for a long time. I never driven with like actual like comp pro cars, like ever. So like even if you do bad or good, like your driver skill level goes up no matter what happens. So after that lead lap, I did one of the best lead laps I've ever done in my life. And then when I entered on Niren, that's when all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
And now that's when this long timeline of crap has escalated from then. Good and bad things, like engine issues and driving a lot and not driving and fixing stuff. But like the best part about it is like I learned a lot from breaking things. You know what I mean? That's the only way I can look at it. So that's that's what it is really.
Yeah. So, but I think more to that, the question was, and I think what I was trying to get at is being able to watch and learn from Adam developing a program.
Yeah.
Right. How helpful was that for you?
Big time. Like I learned a lot from him. Adam's a very smart guy, and like he just knows how to properly do things when it comes to that stuff. And learning from that was definitely a lot of help, and how to talk to people how to handle things, how to, make things look nice, how to brand yourself nicely, how to make your image you, and make sure even the simplest things, having your pit area clean so it looks good for sponsors, stuff like that. Like, I'm the same way. Like,
man, your bed is made. You made your bed.
Hey, my office is the guest room. Adam takes his bed. Adam needs his bed destroyed every day. Trust me.
I'm just joking with you.
Yeah. But no, it was one huge, big learning experience. Working with him with all that and learning all the ins and outs of everything, being around it every single day was a really good experience.
Okay. So so now you were able to take that experience, that relationship you had with Adam, and learn from him. Also, like you said, you got to watch him try and fail certain things that didn't work, right? Learn from his experiences. So you're able to take that knowledge, like you said, it really gave you a one-up when you started developing your own program. So now you got your Matt Shulman, we got, the Shulmanator program going on here.
Yeah.
What is your long-term goal? Do you plan on going pro, or is this something that you just doing clutch kickers, fun days, being somewhat competitive?
Yeah.
Or do you actually want to go all the way with this?
I'd love to if the backing is there. FD is extremely expensive, especially nowadays with prices, everything going up. I have a lot of friends in FD. I've worked on many teams. I've seen what it can do, bad and good. So what I'm trying to do right now is, if I get there, sure, I get there. But I'm not like pushing hard to get there, because I know what happens when you get there, and then it doesn't stop from there, and then it's a lot, But clutch kickers I like a lot is because, first off, it's doable, affordable, and sponsors love it, and it's local. I'm not driving across the country, and it takes up time, but like not FD time. Like, to run a successful FD program, you have a lot of money, a crew, and a lot of time, and it's basically a full-time job from when you're off the track, you're working to get sponsors or fixing the car or get to the next place, and it's a lot to juggle. But yeah, basically, yeah, I'd love to be an FD one day if the backing is there and if I can do it affordably and do it the right way, because it's tough, but like, it is the top tier of drifting. If people forget that, it's the best in the world. Like, that's the top of the top in the U.S. So of course I'd love to be there, but like, it's not something I'm like, oh my god, I got to be pro next year. Like,
right.
I'd rather just go do clutch kickers and have fun. And getting into FD right now, the new rules with, there's basically like a line to get into Pro Spec and Pro 1. So basically, like, they're only allowing, I think, 30 some drivers in each class. And like, even now the new rule is like in Pro 1, if you don't do well, FD can bump you down, which can also bump whoever's in the lowest of Pro Spec out. So like, and then there's a line to get in the Pro Spec before the people that are bumped out go out. So say, for example, there's 15 people that want to get in Pro Spec, you gotta wait 2-3 years longer to get into Pro Spec. So, but it all depends on who's in, who's out, stuff like that. But experience working on Adam's team, working on Simon's team, now working on Ricky's team, and experience everything, not as a driver, working on teams. I've seen what to prepare for and how to come at it, and I will not do it until I know for sure I can do it, if that makes sense.
That definitely makes sense, because now we have, with US Drift Circuit, they're doing the Pro-Ams now,
right?
Which are definitely close, right? Because I think saw at Sebring for the most part, and OSW. Right. I don't know how next year is going to be, but that's a fun track to two different layouts at Sebring. So it's definitely to the point where you could get your Pro Spec. But that's an interesting point that you bring up, that I didn't know there was this line. So even waiting list. So even these guys that are doing a US Drift Circuit and they get awarded their, and it's not a license, it's a what do they call it? It's like a provisional license. Petition, right? They get to a petition to join, right? Because I know probably two of the strongest drivers in the U.S. Drift Circuit are going to be Connor O'Sully and whatchamacallit, Brandon McDowell. Yeah, I couldn't think of his name. Yeah. Those two guys, I definitely see them walking away with petitions. So if they complete this season and they're not able to get in, that's going to suck, because those are two great competitors.
Absolutely. I actually made friends with Connor accidentally at round 1 of the Pro-Am, and me and his family got friendly real quick, and we just made friends, and it was great. I helped him out a little bit, and they're great people, and he's really good driver. Like he kills it, and that car is real fast. So
Yeah.
yeah, and Brandon's been driving for forever, and like I think he's in it just to get his license back or keep his license,
Yeah.
something like that,
No,
right?
You get it
So
back,
yeah, that's another thing too. Like if you don't drive for 2-3 years, now it's like you gotta keep it or earn it back, kind of thing, which is annoying. But it's just the rules now, and they're very strict with it. But yeah, it's
happened to
definitely
Andy Haley. That happened with Andy Haley. Andy Haley
lost
lost it, and now he's in Pro Spec.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's minimal, there's very minimal place for mistakes or falling off the track, or once you're like with me, like for example, like once you're at your level and you back off, you have to restart everything you worked for. Like for example, if I want to take a break from drifting for a year, that is a long time and a lot of work and relationships that could have been developed in that year to where you have to restart all over again. So like, that's why I think drift, that's anybody. That's not just with me. That's any driver, any person. So like, once you're in it, you got to keep going, or else it's going to be a lot harder and take you a lot longer to get where you want to be.
Mm-hmm. So how long you been driving for?
I started driving in 2016, I think, around then.
That's
So I think 5 years, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you were hanging out around the drift events for a few years before that, you said, right?
Long time, yeah. Like I went to events for like 2 years straight without a car.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's your opinion on the evolution of drifting since you've started and to now? I mean, we always talk about the cars,
The growth in the
growth
community.
of it, the community. Do you think it's because some people like, oh, I love grassroots, right? Keep drifting fun. There was that whole keep drifting fun movement for a while ago.
Well,
Do you think
that was before his time.
that was before his time? But he's heard about it.
I was my first FD was like 2013, so that was when it was still.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So what do you think about, like, so some people, they think the growth and the way the sport's moving is a great thing, but some people are like, oh, it's getting away from the grassroots kind of thing.
So there's good and bad things to it. Grassroots, in my opinion, should be grassroots to a point.
Mm-hmm.
So in my opinion, Klutch Kickers is a mixture of everything, and it's considered grassroots, but there's also pro cars. But if you're going to Klutch Kickers, there's pro cars there.
Right.
And if you're going to spend the money to do it, you have to be competitive or somewhat competitive. And if you're going to have fun, sure, do your thing. That's what you want to do. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the evolution of drifting, of where it's going, like on the technical side of like car setups and technology and all that. I love that. That's the best stuff. I love nerdy stuff like that. And even people getting into it's awesome too. Like everybody wants to drive. They see it and it's like, I want to do that. And you can, because you can just go buy a car and do it.
Right.
But to a point where, on that note, like it can get really saturated really quick in a bad way. People come in like, oh, you have sponsors? Oh, I can get sponsors too. And I'm going to go try and be this dude that wants to get sponsors, but you have nothing to give in the thing. And then somehow they get the sponsors and they get saturated, and it just kind of makes this big mess of things. And then everybody's trying to do the same thing, which is fine, but it also can get like, just go drive, learn, and just work your way up kind of thing.
Yeah. What do you think about, and we've talked about this before, about starting a spec class drifting?
Spec class?
Well, like,
that sounds like a stupid idea.
You think it sounds like a stupid idea?
Yeah.
Well,
Like
no, but some people have talked about it, right? So
Spec
like,
as in what?
spec is like same, like, so NASCAR, right?
Yeah.
All the cars are the same. That's
Right.
what I'm talking about. Like running all
the exact same car, like
running the
Spec
exact
E30,
same
where
car,
it's
Spec
like-
E30 or Spec
Right.
Miata, something where all the cars are the same, right? I mean, it's so you couldn't do that back in the day because there wasn't that many. But it's getting to the point, like he was
Well,
saying,
you could
that
do Spec Z.
you could do you could do a
Right.
Spec Z
Spec.
class, right?
Sure.
And then everybody has horsepower limits, weight limits, tire limits, and then it comes down to more driver on driver a limit. I'm just
Well, the other added benefit to it is cost. You control the cost,
Yeah.
Right.
to some respects.
what are your thoughts on
So-
something like that?
So it would have to be a complete own series to where
Right.
either somehow the series helps pay for those cars. Like, NASCAR is a big corporation and they own a lot, and there's teams that are obviously in it. It has to be just like that, but in a drift version, because there's going to be people that want to find tiny little loopholes to go this much faster, and it could get ugly. But I think it could be cool in that aspect. But if you look at Formula Drift, the cool thing about everybody's cars being different is because you never know what's going to happen, kind of thing.
Right.
The
Right.
same-
Well, I'm just not saying I'm not saying take it in place of Formula Drift.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
saying,
I
like you
get
said, Formula Drift is so big, but now
Right.
this would be something else.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It would show
Like an FD
more
Spec
of the driver. You know what I mean? Like if it's the same car, it'll show who's a better driver right there and there.
Drift,
You know what I mean?
Drift, what makes clutch kickers so appealing is that there is just no rules, no holes barred.
I'm not saying get
whatever
rid
the
of,
hell you want.
but I'm not saying get rid of clutch kickers. I'm not saying
No,
that
I'm
this
not
should
saying
take place.
that.
I'm just
But
saying that
ever seeing a bunch of Z's on a track, I mean, that's nobody.
Well,
we
but
could- oh,
okay.
God.
Well, some people could say that. I'd watch about E30 Spec, watching that racing, or Spec Miata watching them race. They could say it's boring. I'm just saying
It is boring.
that there's but there's still a place for
Yeah,
it.
no, there
They
is
still do it.
It's,
So,
it's a budget series, really.
but that's fine. I'm just saying, like he was saying, it's getting to the point where there's a waiting list to get into Formula Drift, right? And if Formula Drift did like, okay, we're going to do a Spec series. It's okay. Maybe it's not going to be high. You set the 500 horsepower or 6, whatever you want to set it at.
Spec C would work out great.
But
because
what
you
I'm
would
just saying, you
literally
set
just
it,
have
and
a
then, like you said, you can get sponsors. This would, you'd see a lot of the pro drivers going over there and doing it, right? So it's still going to be exciting because we're not talking about it's just going to be a bunch of DEs going wah, 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 around the track.
I think if it was done right and to an actual spec that would be entertaining,
Right.
and not just these, I think it would be really cool. But it would have to be very specific rules and very specific things,
Right.
to where almost every program would be like an arrive and drive thing, to where the corporation is what runs the cars, and they have certain crew guys that make the cars the same. Like
Almost
literally-
like a celebrity. They have the celebrity, like, this. You ever seen a celebrity? They'll all get FRSs.
Yeah.
And the celebrity, what do they call it? Celebrity race or like Grand Prix or something?
stuff like that. But like actual drifters, like I think it could be something cool. But also, when I was saying about FD, like I think the really cool thing about FD is like, even though it's so competitive and they're not all the same spec cars, them being different is what makes it more interesting, if that makes sense. But I think the spec car thing could be interesting as who's a better driver from just driver, not car.
Right. Who has a better? Because a lot of it comes down to just having a better team. We watched like Chelsea Denofa's team. Oh, they're swapping out the rear end in 5 minutes, right? Like, wait, that's just not realistic for most of the guys.
I love stuff like that. Like, I love seeing dialed teams just do the thing. Like I love that. They're so dialed, always on their stuff. Like just very, very good. And like the most important thing on teams is knowing your place and just only worry about doing your job. If there's a cross in between, it's just no good.
Yeah. What do you think about the NASCAR chassis? Like freaking what's his name is doing?
Aaron Losey?
Aaron Losey.
I haven't seen it.
He's got a sprint car. He's got 2 sprint car chassis.
Pretty cool.
I think it's great. I mean, you could get those pretty cheap on if you look up like racing junk.
Yeah, well, that's where I think he's kind of going with this, but it's an interesting play, to grab an old sprint car chassis or a circle track car and try to turn it into a drift car. What about if that turns into be something?
No, but that would go back to like you could still do a spec class, right? You could make these tube chassis cars. They don't have to be Z's. They could be tube chassis cars.
Cletus kind of does it already with the Freedom 500.
Right, exactly.
With
Something
all
like
the
that.
Crown Vics.
I just is something that is always thought about because
Crown Vic class drifting.
because sometimes there's that difference that you see there are drivers like I think of drivers like Jeff Jones, right? He's a great driver, but I think a lot of times it comes down to he doesn't have the backing that he needs to. Sometimes stuff breaks and you know what I'm saying. There's a program there that when you see Von Gittin when he was there, Chelsea Denofa, and you see these programs where these guys are ASBO, right? They go in and they'll swap a motor out in a couple hours, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Just the amount of money behind that. Just a thought about having like a spec class, something I've talked about for a long time, and I never thought it would be possible until now because the overflow of drivers. Like I could see that being something in the future.
Yeah, good point. The thing is, I've heard, I'm not saying names, I've heard a lot of people in Pro Spec are kind of just like, they love FD, it's top of the top, but like a lot of them want to like kind of pull back and go to clutch kickers next year.
Right.
That's what I've heard so far.
Well, clutch kickers bridges that gap.
Yeah,
clutch kickers is like bridging that gap.
Like
exactly.
in my opinion, like when clutch kickers was at what's that? Emerald Coast.
Emerald Coast.
Like it was obviously more close because of the track. Now it's definitely all over the place, but that's fine. But like, of course, the bank is going to favor faster cars, and people know how to set up the cars for the bank, stuff like that. I went there and I was like, yeah, I need more. Like I need more to be really competitive. I can drive it and to, be somewhat competitive, but like I can definitely see like, okay, round 3, I need a bigger turbo, I need more power, like for sure. Next round, the smaller layout they're doing, I'm interested to see how it's going to be there now. That's kind of similar to Emerald Coast, because a few turns, no bank, not very fast. Like I think it'll be really cool to watch. But the bank is very exciting for fans and even the drivers as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy that. And by the way, you could go and check out the live stream. It's already available on the Klutch Kickers YouTube channel. If you missed the event, all 3 videos are available showing from
really?
top 64 to the finals. So be sure to check that out. Cool. But I think one thing to note that I noticed observing the event was just looking at the bank. Like when the drivers would attack it, the biggest tell, like you could immediately tell, like when there's somebody underpowered, where they would just fall midline or just struggle to stay midline. You immediately knew, like, oh boy, this is not going to be good for them.
The bank is grippy. It's definitely grippy, and that's the one thing that was. Well, listen, I only got 2 laps. I only got 2 laps, literally. But from those quick 2 laps, I learned real quick that the bank's very grippy, and then the black pavement is pretty good. Concrete, when it's dry, it looks like it's slippery, but it's weird, if that makes sense. It's hard to judge, very hard to judge. Yeah. But it kind of works when it's dry, and then when you transition off of that, come off the bank into that first inner clip, and then you transition to the other inner clip back into the black pavement on outer zone 2. That was really fun. Like I actually really enjoyed the layout. If the concrete was different, like he's doing now with the scraper thing.
Yep. Yeah, we saw
it'd be really cool because I actually love the layout, even though I didn't drive it that much.
Yeah. Just for those of you guys that are watching or that watch this later on, check out Cletus's YouTube because they are making changes to the track. For those that may not be aware of that,
cool.
In order to give the guys more grip, make it rough. So if it does rain a little bit, because hey, this is Florida, and it's Klutch Kickers, so there's a good chance every event there's a chance of rain until we can maybe get until like August, maybe then the rain will kind of go
Florida,
away.
There's always a chance of rain.
There's always a chance of rain, right?
Rain, Gators. I mean,
Gators,
rain.
Yeah, we got everything. Bald Eagles. It's all going down at the Freedom Factory. But anyway, so he's making that adjustment. And we were talking before we went on live how Cletus, how dedicated him and his staff are to setting Freedom Factory up for success and setting Klutch Kickers up to make the layouts challenging, right? Not just saying, well, here you're going to rent the track out and just deal with it. No, he's like, okay.
He's there.
Right. Well, he's also competing. So I think
he literally was competing and like doing his battle and run back to the tow truck or whatever he was working with, and he'd be working instantly.
Right, so what's good about that is he's competing, so he wants to be competitive. Yeah. So if he feels like, hey, this makes it harder for me to compete,
I think that's where one of the driving factors that you got going there is that he's like, damn, I kept on spinning out like it was hard to control on the concrete.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a change.
Or his you don't have,
right, you don't have to voice, hey, listen, Cletus, can you make changes? Oh, it's fine. You guys are doing fine. No, he's going through it with you guys, so that's what's great about it.
Yeah, I was really, really happy with how the event organization went and how Cletus's team was and Klutch Kickers' team. It was just so dialed. Like, I love when things are organized because I care about OCD. But, like, even when I see things like that, like an organization of an actual proper event being put together so well. And it's also, it makes me feel safe because, like, for example, my incident at Emerald Coast and the car caught on fire. If those guys weren't right there with fire extinguishers getting that thing out, I could have lost the whole car. Luckily, it wasn't a fuel fire, but like it could have been way worse. And they got that thing out quick. And like even now at Freedom Factory, there's a state of the art like fire truck guys with steps towing, like huge ambulance, like and anytime something happens, they were on it in seconds. And that, as a driver, makes you feel very safe and secure, and like it's just a good feeling.
Yeah, I mean when there were accidents, they were out there quick. Ben hit the wall. Alec hit the wall. We had the accident with Naren and Sebastian.
Yeah.
That was a bad one,
and
right?
of course Taylor and
then the vet, the Zach's rented vet.
All right.
Oh yeah, into the wall. Yeah, that was a good one.
And then, poor guy. First test lap hits the wall, and then he has to go right into competition.
It was the first lap, was it really?
First lap. Yeah, first lap. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then his second lap was competing. So, it wasn't that going to right to competition on Saturday was really rough for a lot of the guys. But it goes back to what you're saying. Clutch kickers is grassroots, but you could see the majority of the field how seasoned that they are, that they're able to just start right in the morning, first lap, no sight lap, right? Just your first run.
That's
Here you go,
tough.
we're doing it.
That is tough. Like that is not something anybody can just go and do. Like, and it somehow worked out very well. Because even if you're the best driver in the world, anything can happen. Like anything can happen at any moment. So like that's definitely a tough one.
That's one thing that I used to notice. Like we would go to, this was back in the day when Formula Drift has got a lot better. The drivers have been at the tracks for a while. They've been going on the same tracks for a while. But I remember 10 years ago going to Formula Drift and going and watching the day of practice and just watching everybody spin out.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't until the first time I went to a Formula Drift event I realized that, these guys spin out too, right? Because before that, I watch it on live stream or you see cuts and you're like, man, these guys kill it every time. And then you go to the first one, you're like, okay, yeah, they're spinning out all day long on Friday. Not so much anymore, but back then, you see them spinning out and spinning out, feeling out the track. But then come competition day, they work out those bugs, dial their cars in, and they're monsters. They're beasts on the track. But to see these guys, the clutch kickers, go out first time, that was awesome.
It was really cool. It was tough to watch because I wasn't driving. The car broke again, and it was just like, but like I was kind of relieved to, no, of course not relieved to break the car, but like relieved to be able to chill and watch because taking notes is the best thing you can do, mental and visual. And to see what you got to do for the next one. So that's definitely, and the learning how to watch a car perform is definitely a big thing you learn in FD, because to make your driver fast and get the setup done fast. Like when you go to FD, like this past weekend, like we get there, we have a little bit of practice straight to qualifying. And like we had probably 3, 4, 5 laps to get Mickey's car dialed in perfect. And the best thing to do is get it figured out pretty quick. Don't gotta be that fast for qualifying. Just have it neutral, kind of grippy, maybe a little loose, just to be able to drive the car the way you want it. Do a clean lap. Then the next day, comes the other battles and warm up. Then you gotta figure out where you want to be and who you're going against to, make the car work. And then learning that from working on teams, I brought to myself, and that is a big advantage from just simply just watching closely and just seeing what everybody's doing. Because I can tell who has a lot of toe in their car just by the way the car performs or how much forward bite it has or simple stuff like that, which is really key to learn to bring in as a driver.
Now, it's interesting that you say that because it was kind of leads into my next question when it comes in regards to a spotter, because you've been a spotter before.
Yeah.
And who's your spotter, and what have you had to teach him how to spot, or what kind of tips do you give him that you're looking for?
So last year I had a few different spotters. People couldn't come every round because of work and stuff. But like if you're a driver, you can for sure spot for anyone. Like it's not that hard, but some drivers do have specific spotters they want. Honestly, on the way there or weeks before, I'll give them a call and like explain everything I want, the simple things, and they kind of take them to their own hands. Sadly, this past event, I had my friend Paul who was spotting, but he understands how to spot perfectly. But like, we didn't get much data because the car broke second lap. But I love spotting. Like, I spotted for Adam at Klutch Trickers and stuff, and a few other people. I think I spotted helped out a few times too. Like it's fun to me because you don't gotta run around like crazy and sweat. You can just sit and watch and kind of have fun. But it's definitely extremely important because people are like, oh, you don't need a spotter with Klutch Trickers. And I'm like, yes, I do. I 100% need a spotter with Klutch Trickers because if you want to be competitive, you got to know what's going on. If you want to go out there without a spotter, sure. If you want to not know what's going on, some people want that. Like, I know people that rather just go out and see what happens. But, like, if I know how fast someone is or how they're driving, I know I can be competitive if the car's working.
I was surprised I didn't see any, but I didn't see any spotters going up to the judges and asking anything. Did you, Ben?
Well, no, they weren't allowed to.
I thought they were.
No, judges are not allowed to go. I mean, the spotters are not allowed to go to the judges. They have to go to the track marshal. I guess that was Pat Gooden or Zach.
I forgot.
Yes, yeah. You cannot. Nobody is allowed to approach the judges.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because no, never.
During practice.
During practice, yes.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, during practice, yeah. During practice, they said you can come up, but during competition, absolutely not.
Yeah, but I didn't see anybody talking.
I don't remember what happened at the Pro-Am. I think someone, there was a whole thing there, but I think someone talked to the judges or tried to talk to the judges and it didn't go through or something. But I know in FD you can definitely approach the judges to ask a question quickly to determine what you're going to do or why this happened or something like that. I'm pretty sure they allow that, or they talk someone prior who's next to the judges who relays that to them, or something like that. Definitely happens for sure, because in FD you got to know, like anywhere you really got to know, but like we're in FD you got to know quick so you can determine what you're going to do.
Yeah, they have a liaison at Formula Drift, but I know during competition, I don't know about Formula Drift, but I know with clutch kickers, Zach is like, listen, do not approach the judges. Your spotters do not approach the judges at any time during competition.
Yeah, I agree.
During practice, Will tell you, come up to him and talk to him all day long. He'll tell you what he's looking for.
Yeah, like approach the director, instead of going right to the judges, because they're focused. They want to do the thing. They don't want to hear your crap. They just want to, okay, here's paper, yes or no? Okay, thanks.
Have you ever done judging?
I've never judged. Wait, have I judged? No, I haven't judged.
Okay. Definitely, it's not fun.
Have you considered it?
You got to be focused, especially when you're out in Florida and it's hot. It's probably not that fun to be focused in the heat.
Well, now at the Freedom Factory, we got it easy. We got air conditioning.
Oh, you see, that's right. Yeah, nice. That's a big plus. That last week on FD was hot. That was really hot, but I'm used to it at this point.
Yeah.
Well, and muggy too with the rain.
Oh my God. That's one thing that happened to us real quick. We had the car set up perfect for the dry, and it was dry all day. And Ricky goes up for his, was it qualifying or his battle, whatever. And they literally sent him out. They warm the tires up, and it just starts downpouring into their face. Like, the OSW kind of like this, ready to go into the bank. All that water just was going in their face. And Ricky said he was on the bank, just like wiping his visor as he's driving, and he just tried to do his best, but. And Adam too. Adam got rained on right when he battled Osbo, and it was dry all day. And that's the worst. Like, that's the worst thing that can happen with weather in Florida and stuff.
I think the worst event I ever did in the rain. This was back when KMC was around, and we were at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and it was raining. And I was who was there? Dai Yoshihara was there, and I was like I was one of the first cars to have first E30s in the States to have WiseFab. So it was before WiseFab was really in Formula Drift.
Right.
So I was there throwing like this angle, and I was talking to him. He was looking at it and everything. But I remember going around the track and getting hit in the face. You ever rode like when you're riding like a jet ski or a wave runner, and it's just like, psh, psh. It was just like that. I was getting like, splashed right in the face. It was just miserable. I'll never forget that. But it was a good time. It was good to catch up with Dai. But yeah,
I remember the pictures from that. It looked like a tidal wave.
Oh yeah. It was. I don't like drifting in the rain. I like the smoke. I like the traction.
Sure, same. But
I
like,
the rain is good practice.
Yeah, I like driving in the rain because it's not as hard in the car, and you're saving money because no tires.
Yeah.
And everything's in slow motion, and there's things you can improve on. Obviously in a slower motion because it's raining, but like it teaches you a lot of car control and a lot of throttle control, and that you can bring that to the dry, and that has helped me a lot for sure. Like if it's like, I don't like driving in like soak pouring rain, but if it's like pours for a little bit and skid pads is wet, I'm down the shred. I love that stuff. Yeah. But I like smoke too. Smoke's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you about working with Alberto. How's that? How did that come about? I'm curious.
So, it just, whenever I just needed someone to build me an engine, because back then when I blew that 1J, I really didn't have anybody to build me an engine that I trusted or knew. And I hit Alberto up and he said, yeah, I'm down to do it. And we just kind of just got back into it. And it was like back in the old days, we were working with Adam, just me and him, just working on the car and helping him get customers and bring people to him and giving him business. And it was a bunch of fun. It was like going back in time, but present day. And I've learned a lot from Alberto as well. He teaches me a lot. He's a good engine builder. He literally built the engine on, on Wednesday. He built the motor, and now it's in the car. But he busted butt on Tuesday to get it done. But he's been building engines and working on cars for a long time. It's always fun to work with him.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, no. We got to catch up with Alberto recently, and that was another driver that I never really got to meet until Klutch Kickers.
Right.
And that's what's been great about Klutch Kickers for us, is how we've been able to build these relationships and these friendships with all you guys that are out there that we really never had a chance to hang out and chill with you guys. And we still don't really during the day, because everything's going.
Especially the last event was like minute after minute, it was just like something to do. We had to take
it's always.
We don't have an after
hectic.
parties. And we don't have an after party spot. We don't have.
Hey, we gotta find somewhere. Was it Roomba?
Or
Not Roomba.
La Roomba. We don't have a La Roombas.
The Mexican place.
Yeah. We don't
Is
have
that what
that.
it's called? We gotta find
Yeah,
somewhere over there. We gotta find a place.
Yeah, we do got to find a place.
I literally, I was being cheap, and I just bought a bunch of meats and breads from Publix, and the whole crew ate sandwiches the whole time.
Yeah, well, but you know what? I was so in my job. I kind of travel around the state going to different parts of the state.
Yeah.
So I was in Fort Myers earlier this week,
Yeah.
and I stopped by and saw Savio,
Oh,
Drift
nice.
HQ.
Oh,
At
dude,
his-
he needs, no offense, to just not drive and make a restaurant food for everybody.
But the reason why I'm bringing this up is that he's actually taking orders because now he's using that to develop his program and help fund his program.
Selling food to?
He's selling food, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
I think it's
I don't care. I'll pay him my money for that food.
Yeah, so it's like I think it's like $15 a meal, and he has
Oh,
snacks there.
So worth it. Amazing, like great food.
I know. So
Good
yeah,
Lord.
hit him up definitely.
I will
thought it
for
was
sure
pretty
do that
cool.
next round. That his picanha is wow.
Oh no, and not only that is like Cletus has
Everything.
got Cletus is on point. He's working hard. He's got great grass. He's got a good facility, but the food was horrible.
Oh yeah,
the
I had
food
a
was
freaking
bad.
burger or chicken sandwich thing. I was starving. I grabbed it. It wasn't. I mean, it was bad, but like it wasn't like not edible.
You were hungry.
Oh, I don't know. I went to have a burger and I went to take a bite in it and it cracked in half. Like
Oh,
it made a
that's good.
snapping noise.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I mean, yeah, but it's
Come on, guys.
Bathrooms are
tread lightly, please.
bathroom,
lightly,
you know,
tread
bathrooms
lightly.
are clean.
No,
everything is awesome.
Everything was great.
It's just that one spot. So you got Savio in the pits. Just hit him up, and he's taking.
Dude.
I think he's taking like pre-orders or something.
I will
so
for
he knows
sure
how much
be
food to
down.
bring.
That's smart. That's so smart of him to do that. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a lot
'cause
on him because he has to drive and work and then cook and then back and then whatever. But
Yeah.
hey, please, I
He's
will.
got to put a grill in the car.
Yeah,
Like,
put the meat in the hood, like
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just have that cook.
Or the trunk, you know.
for the
just-
motor to make the grill hot.
Yeah. Put it like set some. Might be an
That'd be
idea.
something.
Maybe I'll do something on a downpipe or something. I'll set like
Yeah,
I'll make like a
Yeah.
little hot dog cage for
Yeah.
so I can cook hot dogs. A couple laps, cook the hot dogs,
That'd
get
be
out
funny.
in between laps, put it on a bun, eat it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Too funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is a great segue. Let's take a break from talking business and let's segue over to the Shulman's Food Corner.
Oh,
And,
there we go.
yes.
Let's go ahead and highlight some of the hot spots that Mr. Shulman has been to lately over in the Orlando area. So,
Okay.
Matt, care to share with us some of your favorite places to go to?
Oh, okay. So I like anything, but I love Spanish food and Cuban food and all that stuff. So it was a spot over here we go to like weekly. It's like, you know, the rice, meat, pork, all the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's right by OSW. Like I live off of 50, same road OSW is on. I'm
Okay.
14 minutes from OSW. So Alafaya, where the Chick-fil-A is and all that stuff. Kind of, I'm right there. But that spot's right there. You gotta check that place out. And then there's a Mexican's place like right here has like really good freaking tacos, and like you wouldn't expect it because like most of the time places have like they're like places that look new aren't always good. It's always places in a hole in the wall that look like crap that are always the best places. But this place is newer, but the food tastes like a hole in the wall. That makes sense.
What's it called? What's it called?
It's hang on. Law something. Hang on.
La Carreta?
No,
No,
I can't
yeah.
look right there.
They have them up there.
No, I understand that, but I mean, I just
So
don't
we gotta
think
find
it's-
we
Okay.
actually found a good place.
It's called Tequila. I don't speak Spanish. Tequila Las Cuzeles. Because I don't know. It's
Las
good.
Cazuelas?
Huh?
Cazuelas?
Yes. Caswell. Yes.
Booyah!
Yeah, we got a
It's
resident
really good.
Miami citizen here.
Also, funny
Finally.
today. So today I wake up and I go on Facebook. You ever heard of Dave's Hot Chicken?
Yeah.
In California. So they're only on the West Coast, and we had it when I was in Irwindale last year. It's really good, and I was like, "Huh, I want to have that again." And I go on Facebook. I swear to you, I go on Facebook this morning, and it says Dave's Hot Chicken opening in Orlando, and I'm like, "What? No way!" I'm like, "No way!" And I go on the maps, and it says there's nothing on the maps. It's so new. I go on Safari, and there it is. And today, the 27th, Dave's Hot Chicken opening, May 27th at 11 a.m. And it was 10 a.m. this morning. I looked up, I'm like, oh my God, they're opening in an hour. Where's that? I look it up, and it's on Alafaya, across the street from my house.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, damn.
And so I got my truck, and I went, and I got Dave's Hot Chicken, and it was amazing.
So what do you get on the menu? What's your
So they have, it's all like hot chicken. They have heat levels. It's like fried chicken tenders or fried chicken sandwich, like slider thing.
Oh, we gotta get
And it's like not hot, kind of hot, medium hot, extra hot, and then like Ferno or something like hot. But like I'm telling you, the hot's hot enough. Like it's good. So they have a tender meal with fries and a side, and they have a slider meal, fries on a slide, and they have a tender and a slider meal, fries on a slide. I got that one.
There we go. That's where I'm gonna be in Orlando in a couple weeks. I'm gonna I'm gonna try it
Let
out.
me know if you're at OSW. It's literally 15 minutes from OSW. It's right here.
Yeah, we're going family thing with my wife and my daughter, so
nice.
I'll hit you up.
Do it. It's good.
Dave's Hot Chicken. Okay, so I have a couple good places in Orlando, but this is your spotlight. I just want to share with them and see what you think. I'll bounce them off you. Lazy Moon Pizza.
See, I don't like that place.
He doesn't
either.
like it.
I don't like it either.
So
It's trash.
it's college fast pizza.
See, told you.
It's open late. It's good. It's good for kind of what it is, but it's not like the
good for
good
toilet
pizza
paper,
stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's not like New York style good stuff. You know, it works. Sure, it's a genius business.
Okay.
But like,
So what's the best pizza in Orlando then?
see, that's the thing. There's not many good places. That's why it's annoying. But actually, my girlfriend got a quick serving job a few months ago just to get extra cash. It doesn't work anymore, but it's called Rome's Flavors in Winter Park. It's not a thin crust New York style. These people are from Italy. They import water from Italy every day or every however much time, and they make this damn pizza, and it doesn't make sense. It's so good, and you got to try it. Rome's Flavors in Winter Park.
Rose Flavors.
Rome.
Yeah, Rome. ROMES.
Okay.
It's great.
Rome Flavors.
Very good.
Okay.
Got that down, Paul.
What else you got? What else you got here in Orlando?
Oh, we're foodies. So we ate at this place. Was it called Durango's?
Durango's, yeah, that was okay.
What do you mean? I thought it was good. Gosh. Whatever.
I can
What
tell
about Buc-ee's? You like
foodie
Buc-ee's?
like me. It's like, oh, he thinks it's great. I'm just like, whatever, it's fine.
You got low expectations.
I got low expectations, I guess. I don't know. What else do I
You're
got?
not allowed to eat. That's why.
I'm not. I do eat. What are you
Yeah,
talking
you're not
about? What are you talking about? Look at me. I eat. I eat plenty good. There's a lot of good Puerto Rican restaurants there.
Yes.
But
What else?
What we gotta find
what
is
else
that
good?
Hawaiian. There was a Hawaiian place by Emerald
Pounders.
Coast.
Pounders.
That was amazing.
Pounders in
Oh,
Crestview.
really?
Crestview.
I didn't
It
go
was
there.
amazing.
Oh,
it was like
it was
the best
good.
food I've ever had.
Huh.
And like, we need to find something like that in Orlando.
There's the spots here for sure. It's just you gotta find them. You guys like ramen?
I love it.
So there's a place called Domu in Orlando. Have you heard of Domu?
Okay.
So Domu is really good ramen, but they have like literally I would say F the ramen and get the wings they have. They have these damn wings.
Wings. Okay.
They are voted best wings in Orlando like years in a row. They're extremely crispy and they're in a butter kimchi sauce. And it's
Domo.
insane.
Yeah, take this down.
I'm taking
Write this down.
Write this down. Write this down.
Take a note.
Write
Take
this
a
down.
note.
It's literally they're so crunchy, but the inside is like melts in your mouth, and it's amazing. Like I go there, I get ramen and the wings, but like I could literally go there and say, screw the ramen, give me the wings. Like it's so good.
I think
And
we
there's
ate there.
actually so there's one in
That's
in
not where we ate.
Orlando Winter Park area, and there's
Uh-huh.
also like a quick version of it that has the boneless version of those wings right next to Dave's Hot Chicken in the same plaza.
Huh. We'll have to check that out.
It's
Yeah,
the
sure.
one. Is that place that they
Sean?
only take a credit card?
Sean Roxby
Right.
took us? Really?
That was
I
probably
didn't know about the wings. Is it next? I don't know. We'll have to check on that.
that was probably the quick one. The quick one's not nearly as good as the actual sit down place.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this was a quick one. It was just a little small little place. You
Yeah,
walk
is it
on
next
and eat outside.
to Jeremiah's Thai and Ice place?
Yep.
Yeah, that's Domu. That's the chibi ramen. That's their quick version. It doesn't touch the real place.
Oh, okay.
But that flavor of those little boneless wings is the same flavor as the wings, but like it doesn't even come close. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Good deal.
Tim, any other places that you have in mind that you want to share? Do you want to
Tell me all
Matthew
already.
grade?
Well, so my mind went blank. I don't. Lazy Moon was one of the places, and then I can't remember. There was another place I ate because I go up there every once in a while. And I just can't remember right now.
You just mentioned Buc-ee's.
Well, Buc-ee's isn't in Orlando.
Buc-ee's
That's
is the
in
best.
Daytona.
I love Buc-ee's.
It has the best. I mean, the best brisket.
So
far.
doesn't make sense how good that is for a gas
It's
station.
insane. People go in there and they have their little basket and they
Yes.
literally take like 20
Yes.
sandwiches. It's insane. Yeah, you'll see it, and
So-
they're like mine.
The last round I went to Klutch Sugars, I purposely went on 95 instead of 75 so I can go to Buc-ee's, get all the good
Thank
stuff,
you.
and then go up to 95 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
These fools were like, "Oh, why do you keep going to 95?" It's like, well, once you get to Buc-ee's, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
it was good.
You go there, you spend $60 at least on snacks and crap,
Oh, easily.
and it's fine. It's not normally fine, but it's fine.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Ugh, oh,
Well, now we lost everybody with our. With
It's
our food
fine. Now I'm
conversation.
hungry, damn it.
Gotta find a couple.
Yeah. Oh, drifting. Oh, we're supposed to be talking about drifting in
All
cars.
right, drifting,
Oops.
cars, engines, things.
Yeah. I have a question. Have you ever considered another chassis or something else to kind of like?
Yes.
What? Okay. What chassis?
So, I love the S chassis, of course, and like you can for sure build a S14 or 15, be competitive, but the sport, like it depends on what you want to do. Like if I'm or BMW is definitely extremely competitive as well. Like Dylan Hughes' car is amazing. I love that car, but like, how do I explain this? I love BMWs. They work. They're extremely great, but like it's just not my style. If that makes sense. No hate to them at all.
No, I get it.
I the only newer car that I will do because I don't want to. I'm not gonna build an older car now because like it's just a tin can at this point. But anyway, definitely FRS or 86, like
Oh.
BRZ for sure. I have one. I have a shell.
Right.
But I just haven't got to building it yet. And like before, the geometry wasn't that great and all that kind of stuff. But now technology, as in with YSFAB and data and all that stuff's advancing, like you obviously can make them fast. Many successful drivers drive them, and I would for sure build an FRS or GR 86, whatever you want to call it now, because the GR and GT, same chassis, just different body. There's some little things that are different, but like not much. That's why all the GT chassis now have all the new GR YSFAB updated stuff on there, and it's like night and day. Like Castro's car is so fast, it's insane. Like it's amazing. And Gucci's is pretty good too. But like, yeah, I would definitely build a FRS. But if I could afford an S15, sure. But a shell is like $10,000 is insane to me.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I would. I mean, yeah, it would be definitely between FRS and the S15 because the S15 still an S chassis. I'm more familiar with it. It's easy. There's plenty of information on it, and there's enough of the 86 now. It's been out for like what 12 years now, I think, something like that.
Yeah. You know, it's funny.
So,
My
like-
mom actually has. How old is hers? Like a 2014.
Hers is original, like the first year.
It's like the first or second year. My mom
No,
bought
the first
one.
year it came out.
Was it first year?
year.
She got that.
Burnt orange?
That burnt orange color.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She got it
they
manual.
did it with the Deborah X too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they didn't have. This is an interesting story. They didn't have that color in the manual. My mom wanted a stick shift, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So she literally found one in Ohio. I flew to Ohio and drove it back down.
Yeah.
That car, my mom still has that car, and it has like 6,000 miles on it.
Wow.
It's insane.
Wow.
Yeah, because she doesn't really ever drive it. She
Wow.
got an accident, hurt her back, and
That's
it kind of
worth
just
money.
sits there.
That's worth a lot of money now.
I know. So we
Jeez.
got a car cover, cleaned it up, and it's just right now it's sitting underneath the car cover, but it's still
Right.
stock wheels, bone stock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's stuck on it.
Yeah,
I already got dibs.
Ben already got
Feel
dibs.
like that car would have been such a great car if it wasn't a damn Subaru engine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's the worst.
Like if they made like a modern day, I'm not gonna say GZ because they won't do that. If they made some kind of modern, even an actual normal 4-cylinder, like I don't know.
For ARZ or whatever.
Even
they call
a
it.
3-cylinder with a turbo.
No, no.
honestly, like something like I don't know, it's not the damn flat four. Like I get it why they did it, the whole thing, but like the best part about that is they made the engine bay very wide for the flat four, so you can fit basically anything in there,
Right. Yeah.
like a Ferrari engine, like Turk did, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about all that, but yeah, I'd like to K swap it. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be awesome
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, no. I think case swap on that car would be amazing. So
Yeah, because keep it light. I mean, how much does that car weigh stock? It doesn't weigh that much.
Probably
Maybe
close,
that much.
probably 3,000 pounds. I'd say 3,100. I guess
I mean, that's in full trim, right?
probably.
Yeah, you
Probably.
could get that down.
They're not that heavy. They're not that bad. I mean, they're probably similar to most.
Yeah.
Oh, well, 27 to 28 actually.
Really?
That's really light.
That's really light. Yeah.
Yeah, man, gutting that thing, you lose 300-400 pounds maybe.
You got to weigh your shell, man.
I do. So the front of it, there's no front suspension or anything. There's a whole rear end. It was in a wreck, but it's not like a bad wreck.
Yeah.
It's straight as can be, and there's no front suspension. But like, I could get some stock suspension and put it on there and see what it weighs.
That's really freaking light.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take Mom's car then.
You gonna take Mom's car?
Yeah,
I
think so.
called dibs on it
called dibs.
already.
That's my mom's car. buddy.
I don't care. I called dibs. All right, it's a rule of law. Once you call dibs, it's like forged.
Yeah.
It's the sense of time.
It's like shotgun. You know, you can't, take shotgun from somebody called shotgun.
Exactly. It's part of the bro code, right? I think, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I got no bro code.
Oh, okay.
I got something to throw at you.
Yeah.
So you're at an event. You're doing pretty good.
Yep.
Somebody approaches you
Oh God.
and says, "Hey,
Oh, come on.
Say, hey, we'll
can
give
you just
some,
we'll
free
we'll give you some free
Wise
stuff, free Wise Fab if you spin out." What do you say?
I see where this is going. I'd be like, no, because I know what this is going to drag me to. Because I'd rather not deal with the crap after.
What if it's somebody that you really looked up to?
I'd be like, hey,
What if Adam LZ came up to you and said, "Hey, I'll build your FRS for you if you just throw this round"?
no,
Yeah, no,
because then
Why are we going here, Tim?
Oh, just
no, because
hypothetically,
listen,
I'm just
like,
saying.
it's from being around the known world of people, everything goes everywhere, and your reputation can go down the toilet in seconds if
Oh,
anything
absolutely.
happens.
No, it's crazy.
So I'd rather not ruin reputation because of something like that. I'd rather just keep my car.
Yeah,
I get it, though. I know what you're saying. I get it.
yeah. I'm just messing with you.
No, I get you. I know. But
I'm getting looks from my
I
brother.
should have said yes, absolutely. I'll just spin out and hey, you know what? Let's go to the wall.
How many spins do you want? I can spin 3 times in one lap.
Hey, give me some gas and I'll pour it in the car and just torch it. F it, whatever.
I'll give you 10 grand for every time you spin.
That's good.
spinning around the whole track.
Yeah.
Oh,
God,
man.
Jesus,
Yeah, jeez.
good Lord,
Oh,
That's insane.
God.
Why'd you go there?
I just
Oh, that
thought,
was
why
good.
not? Why not?
That was
Why
good. I
not?
like that. I caught it.
Yeah. All right. So is that the FRS BRZ? So do you
Yeah.
think that will be the future chassis for Mr. Shulmanator?
Yeah, when it comes to it, probably for sure. I thought about selling it to just put more money into my car, get like a quick change and stuff, be more competitive. But it's hard to get a shell that's already a shell or buy one. Everything's up in price, so I'm in a weird gray area with it. 'Cause I can sell it, then you get a quick change, and then have like a really really competitive car to have gear changes and then not break diffs. I don't break diffs, but like I'm pushing it on my setup right now. So like to get more horsepower in my car, to be able to not break it, I have to do something. And a Z diff is not even that much stronger than mine. So like the amount of money you put in a Z diff to have the right gearing with the dog box I have now and stuff,
yeah.
$1,000 more you can get a quick change. So like I don't know, I'm in a weird area for it. I could just save up and do it, but like so much money goes into running the program and doing clutch triggers is it's tough. But definitely the 86, yeah.
Yeah, but the good thing is a dog box and a quick change you could essentially transition all that over to the FRS.
That's also where I was going with it too. That's I have the dog box now. It's the best thing ever. So that's one more step is a quick change. But then I have a pro car for my only drift car. That's what I'm trying to avoid. But that's what I'm doing, so it makes sense.
Keen viewers may have noticed a particular logo on your shirt, MSR. Care to elaborate on that?
So I finally started my own like kind of brand, just my own racing thing, and like there's so many different companies out there, and like there is another MSR company, but like it's just irrelevant. But like I just thought this was easy and it looks good, and I just did it. So now I have these shirts for sale. These shirts for sale on my website, and all the crew wears them, and it's just good for branding and it looks really good. I've always wanted to have my own kind of thing, so I finally pulled the trigger and got it done like a month ago.
Oh, cool.
So it's just clothing right now, or is
Yeah.
it
Well, I have posters, and I have one of those is on sale. 2 of them. But I have posters and shirts for now. I want to get hats pretty soon. I got these made pretty quick at a place in Orlando because I needed them for Klutch stickers, and I got like 50 some shirts or 100 shirts just to have to sell. Because like getting them made in time is always hard. This place got them done quick, so I just did it.
Yeah.
Well, it's smart. You're starting to brand yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to pitch to sponsors and show them we're going to actually represent them more, and the whole crew's going to wear it, and my fans and viewers and things are going to have it as well. And I just wanted to get their more names out there, and I've always wanted to have my own shirt, as dumb as it sounds, but I'm stoked to have it finally.
Good.
Yeah.
Have you had requests from like random people like asking to kind of like needing help with their car or like wanting to hire you to work on their car or anything like that? Because I mean you're pretty hands-on with your vehicle, so I'm sure people have taken notice on that.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten approached a bunch of times. Even actually, what I was saying about Connor O'Sully and them at OSW, they were like, "Hey, do you want to help us out, work for us?" And I'm like, not this friend, I was helping my other friend, but like maybe something else in the future for sure if I can. So I haven't tied knot on that yet, but like that's a pure example right there. They asked me to help out, and then I get DMs and stuff and questions or me wanting suggestions on how to set up something or what to do, and it happens a pretty good amount of the time.
Yeah, Connor's people are pretty cool.
Oh, Connor's great. Yeah. I mean, we caught up with Connor last season when he was in his S14, and he just very down to earth.
Yeah,
he's wilding out. I mean, while you watch his YouTube, he's doing like
I
he's
know.
doing stunt shows in the hood, right? And I'm just like, what is he doing there?
Oh God, I saw that. I'm like, what the
thing.
hell is he doing?
Isn't it loving it?
He is doing the thing for sure. I can't do. I'll be in the car. I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
The other thing I was curious about, Randy Noah.
Yes.
Yeah, he keeps
Best
going
dude
in the
ever.
chat here.
Is he in? Is he here?
How-
Where's the
he was
chat?
at
Is
some
there a
point.
chat? Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Where's it?
Oh
wow.
He's like, where is it? But yeah, so how did that come about? Because I'm sure it seems like both of you guys are trying to push one another in regards to driving ability and skills.
For sure.
And now he's in an E46. I don't know
Well,
what he's
yeah.
done yet, but he's working on it.
Oh yeah, could you tell us what motor he's got in there?
Yeah, I think. Oh wait, am I?
Yeah.
Is it not known?
I don't know it, but
Oh.
we don't,
He wouldn't tell me.
Is Randy
I asked
watching?
him
I don't
about
want to blow his
Oh.
secret if it's a secret. Randy,
yeah, well,
comment.
Paul asked him. He wouldn't tell.
He wouldn't even
wouldn't-
tell me.
I won't tell you. Then he'll tell you. I know what it is though. It's pretty cool.
I think I know where he lives. I think I'll just go over
There you
there.
go. He's calling me. He's calling me. Hang on.
He's like, shut
Yes?
up, don't say
No,
anything.
don't say anything.
Okay, he said I'm not allowed. He's probably like, no, don't tell him. Call him. That's funny. I won't tell him. I promise. Okay, bye.
He freaked out.
Wow, that was quick. I was like, oh man, talk about like freaking out there.
Yeah, he's like,
What's the
funny.
big secret? What's the secret?
No,
You're not going to put
Randy,
anything. I mean, what are you going to do? EcoBoost
Randy-
or something? I don't know.
Me and Randy have pretty similar driving styles and also very similar cars. And like, he's the only person that I can like really drive hard AF with on the skid pad. Like when we drive on the skid pad, we just go as hard as possible every time. I was watching old footage the other day, and we just like every lap was just going hard. And that's like the best thing to do over and over again, just to get good and gain confidence in yourself and the car, and then bring that to everybody else you drive with. But there's always those drivers you kind of like, give a little space or don't drive as crazy. But everybody at OSW who's, that we're friends with drives really, really good. But me and Randy, Randy's probably my most fun person to drive with.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
deal.
Looking at the roster this season for the Klutch series, is there a particular driver that you may not necessarily be looking forward to competing with, but maybe you're hoping to kind of like cross paths to kind of see where you stack up?
I mean, not really. I'd love to battle really anyone because like if I go against a more experienced driver, I can drive harder. But either way, you gotta drive hard at this point. But I mean, Not really anybody in particular, to be honest. There's so many people I don't even know that are driving this year. Like half the field I'd never heard of. I've seen them, but I don't know them. So like I have to like really kind of see how they drive or what they're doing to like even answer.
Yeah. What was your favorite battle last round?
Last round favorite battle. Taylor and Chelsea was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how that damn stupid Fox body is so fast. Well, I know why it's fast because Chelsea developed it and made it what it is. But like,
right.
But like that thing caught me off guard because I was just watching. He went against Taylor Holt that one run that went on Facebook, and I was like,
yeah.
Well, there's that. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. All right. Favorite driver of all time?
Oh. Wow. Hang on. I know my favorite driver of all time, but now it's lost. I can't even think now. Favorite driver of all time. Jesus.
Well, that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
No, everybody can have their
I have
favorite
so many
driver.
favorite drivers. Like James Dean is awesome, obviously.
Well,
He's
that's
super sick.
everybody's favorite.
Denofa's a great driver as well, but I'm friends with him, but he's great as well. But like I don't ever have favorites. I have like many, you know what I mean? I have many favorite drivers.
Who's your favorite driver?
My favorite driver of all time is Nomakin.
Nomakin?
Yeah, just because of his personality.
Oh.
It's not like he's not the best driver out there, but just
That's old school though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that's like he was most entertaining to watch for me, and I just enjoyed watching his style and everything. So,
Okay.
That was my favorite driver of all time.
Paul, do you have one? I doubt you do.
I couldn't.
Oh wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, world, what the hell am I doing here?
It's the passion. It's the passion. Ben, do you have a favorite driver?
Not really.
No. All right, Matt. Favorite track that you've ever slid on?
Oh man, Road Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
That was an experience. That was I had weird adapter, clutch stuff, CU9, JZ stuff before like things got perfected, and I had this kit in my car that basically like broke like my 8th lap, but I got to drive it. I did the whole down the hill, up and in. That was amazing. I also drifted the S's too, and that was wild. And even just driving the track normally, because like you do the FD section kind of out and out, and then you drive, and then you track the whole track. Like you can do whatever you want till the next section. So like you do the whole downhill uphill thing, go down, and you can floor it as fast as you want, and like we'll grip drive the whole thing. And it kind of cools the car down too. You're going so fast. You fly around all the way around, and then you go to the S's, and then you just enter in like freaking 3rd or 4th gear and mash it down the hill to the valley and up the valley, and then auto grip across the rest of the track, and then park in the line and go again. It was just like so wild. Like even like the most wild part about it is like when all the cars are on the grid by the pits waiting to go, you all go and start to warm up your tires and do a little scrubbing, and everybody's like 30, 40 cars at once just driving the whole track to when you start the drift was like so cool. And like Road Atlanta alone is the coolest place ever. So like getting to drive that, and that was the last year grid life they did. So I got lucky driving that last grid life there, which was really cool. But their car broke sadly like halfway through. But I got to drive it, so that was all I cared about.
All right, so I got 2 more for you. This one's a hypothetical.
Oh
boy,
this is a hypothetical. I like these fun questions. You could take 10 of your buddies.
Yeah.
Go to any track in the world. Spend 1 week of drifting. Don't have to worry about the cars. Don't have to worry about the tires. Where would you go?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. 10 for, I mean.
Right, it has to be 10 because you want to do that train. So that's what I'm saying.
I haven't driven. What's that place called in California with the canyons?
Willow Springs.
Willow Springs. I would love to go there and drive that uphill.
Anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the
world.
world.
The world. Shit.
In the world. I'm not making it easy for you.
Oh, Japan. I definitely go to Japan for sure.
Yeah.
Japan. Ibisu.
Okay.
5%.
All right.
That's different.
Last one. In your opinion, what's the best motor for drifting, and why is it a JZ?
Yeah. I was waiting for this the whole time. So, I don't care how many times I've broken it. I don't care. I'm not putting a truck engine in my 240 ever, people. Ever. I don't care. I would blow up 20 JZs before I put a LS in my car. Anyway. JZ's best engine ever. It's known to be. It sounds amazing. they're expensive, but people have found ways to do them affordably, and now you can get them for get parts to build them pretty cheap. And to me, like the best engine ever is definitely Jay-Z, like I said. But like the noises it makes, what you can do with them is pretty impressive. There's tons of information, and I think the Jay-Z is definitely it. But like all these newer engines are coming out, like the B58 and like other things and all that. But like, of course, the LS platform is there, and it's a good platform. But like, it all depends on your style. It all depends on what you want to hear, what you want to do, and how easy it is to work on. But like, I think the Jay-Z is definitely the top tier, in my opinion, regardless of how many times I've broken them. But me breaking them, 2 of them were like, okay, catastrophic. The other ones were like minor things that hurt it because wiring wasn't right, or my vac line popped off my regulator, which made it run lean. Like, that's why people, like, they're, put an LS in your car, do an engine swap. And I'm like, it'll cost double to do a whole entire different platform.
Yeah.
Instead of just perfecting small things that are causing these issues, which I've done now. Like, everything was perfect, but the back line popped off, I lost another engine. And now I'm doing end lines. Like, fix the little things to get what you want for the big picture. So Jay-Z, for sure.
That's all I got.
All right. Round 2, Klutch Hickers. It's coming
Yeah.
up. What are you doing to prep for it? Are you doing anything different compared to how you set up the car for round 1? How are you going to go at it?
So now I've seen round 1 of what cars are going to be there and how it's going to be. Obviously, it's on a bank track this time. Obviously, I lost the other engine, and now I just got it's the same engine, just different internals. I had CP pistons before, did the same pistons, but now I have BC 625 plus rods, so now the engine can be capable of like whatever I want basically. But now I'm limiting the turbo size. So I just got the engine last night. Everything's ready to start probably tonight or tomorrow morning. Start it up, make sure it's good. I'm gonna go test next weekend, make sure it's perfect. And then maybe a small alignment change, and then go drive. That's basically it. But then round 3, definitely bigger turbo and stuff like that to be more competitive.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So you take no issue with the layout the way how it is. I mean, there's been some talk about how it's too simple. It should incorporate a bank. I mean, how do you feel about it?
So I understand every opinion, and I'm a mix of those opinions. That makes sense. Like, it's common sense. A bank will definitely favor a more experienced driver and a higher level car, which will be faster than most of the other cars, which definitely puts a big gap into everything. But there is a lot of cars that are pretty similar. I like the idea of the smaller layouts because it will make everything kind of like how it was before at the old track. Smaller layout, high horsepower cars, low horsepower cars that can do the layout and show that you can beat pro level cars like Randy and Alec. Like, that was wild, like a street S14 with a 1200 horsepower, 1000 horsepower Pro 1 car. Like, that's what I think Klutch Hickers was really cool for, and how it kind of changed everything and made it not really grassroots. It was kind of like its own class, if that makes sense, and it was really unique. And it's so unique at Freedom Factory. I love it there. And, like I said before, like, you're going there. You know it's going to be competitive. You know it's going to be wild, no matter what layout you're doing. So you got to kind of bring it, or you kind of get lost in the dust. But I like the layouts they're doing. I think it's fine, and it's cool that they're doing the mystery round around 5 to pick the best one, or surprise with a new one. So I think the way that they're changing every layout every round is definitely cool too, because like the other track was cool, but like the same thing every time. There's so much data and there's so much things that people know what to do now. Now it's like FD, you go to a new track or whatever. There's still information from years prior, but anything can change, and you have to make the car competitive to win.
Yeah. Well, this smaller layout is going to definitely make for more exciting tandem battles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be closer. It's going to, like you said, it's going to close that gap between the high horsepower cars and lower horsepower cars that the bank separates. So I think it's going to be more exciting watching as a spectator, especially those spectators that they don't really care so much on the technical aspect of it. They just want to see cars close together, a lot of smoke, and a lot of excitement. So I think as a spectator that's new to drifting, which will be there will be a lot of those because the Freedom Factory brings that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good for spectators. And the way this is like a stadium, right? It's like the Drift Coliseum. I don't know if that's already taken, but
it's an awesome place.
yeah, it is an awesome place. So
It's-
what Cletus has got going on, and like I said, I have never really watched a handful of Cletus videos in the past. I'm sure like yourself, like we're always busy doing other stuff, so we don't really get a chance to follow these guys and see everything. But I am more a fan now of Cletus than I ever was because I saw the dedication he has. Like I said, he owns a track. He's running out a track. He don't have to be out there mowing the grass. He don't have to be out there cleaning the track.
Funny.
He don't have to do any of that, right?
Yeah, no.
And that just spoke volumes to me on how engaging it was to the crowd, trying to make sure they knew what was going on. Because we had some times where we couldn't patch in through the PA. I think there was one time he actually came out to the stands and kind of let everybody know what was going on. But yeah, his dedication to the sport and watching it grow, and then Klutch Kickers, of course, their dedication. I mean, I just see great things from just that partnership between Cletus' crew and Klutch Kickers. But kind of wrapping this up here, what can the people that follow you, what can they look for? Do you have any big things on the horizon other than this competition's coming up?
Not much. Just I do my normal YouTube thing, just normal my drift car and Klutch Kickers and OSW, and doing my thing with sponsors and developing stuff and all that. That's basically what I'm doing because it takes up a lot of time, a lot of effort and stuff like that. I would love to start the FRS build maybe this year if I get to it, but no promises because like I'm a one-man team on the car. Like I'm the one working on it. I'm going to build some motors and stuff, but like that's just me. That's all. It's only me on the car in my garage. But no, just like my normal YouTube thing, Instagram, normal stuff like that. Nothing crazy coming up that I know of yet. But no, it's just my normal thing, just Klutch Kickers and all the good stuff.
So what is your YouTube channel and what are your social media tags?
My YouTube channel is my name, just Matt Shulman, and then Instagram is Matt Shulman with 4 N's on the back, and then Twitter is I think the same thing. I'm pretty sure, and Facebook is just my name.
Oh, you're doing the tweets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Lots of
haven't
mean
got into
tweets,
it.
if you know what I'm saying.
I started the account and I was like, I don't have time for that. I'm on page.
I went to go tag you guys on Twitter, but I couldn't find. I just put.
Yeah,
I just
Yeah,
put
we
it
all
on
think
there.
we're set up on
We're not
Twitter.
there, but we are on Spotify, right?
Right.
We're on Spotify.
Oh,
We do.
cool.
We're on where else are we on?
Stitcher.
Spotify is not a social
Google,
network. It's
Not as social networks, but I'm saying that people.
like audio format.
He's out of it. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
He's an old
I'm an old man.
man.
Yeah. What is this phone thing?
Computer with glass and stuff.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, you guys got anything else for the Shulmanator?
we're good.
No, that's it.
All right. Well, I mean, is there anything else you want to shout? Anybody want to shout out? Anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Yeah, definitely shout out to all my sponsors: ECU Master, BC Racing, Action Klutch, True Focus Fab, Kansai Wheels, a few others. All the support, I could not do it without them, and all my friends and family and fans supporting me over the years. And it's been fun, but it's a long way from over. So I'm ready to get back out there with the new motor and actually shred and not break things.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to mention real quick for Klutch Kickers, if they ever watch this, there needs to be a chicane for the bank layouts to make it more easier for drivers to come up and not be drag raced. I just want to mention that. But other than that,
Is that
no,
watching?
I'm good.
I didn't see Zach in the, in the
okay.
comments.
Well,
So.
Add the chicane to the bank.
Yes.
To the bank
It should be. It's not even for. It's not an advantage. It just makes it right. FD does it, so there's a reason why they're doing it, and it makes sense. So
Yeah.
I think they should do it.
All right.
Okay. Well, folks, well, Matt, I want to thank you again for joining us. Actually, just stick around as we wrap this up. And I want to thank you, folks, the viewers, for tuning in. And we'll be back 2 weeks from now, right? Barring no other issues for another episode. So thank you again for watching, and we will catch you next time.
Well, actually, I don't,
Wait, what?
Well, I'm just.
Are you serious?
Well, no, but you're gonna. Well, I'm sorry, but you're gonna go and we're gonna get some footage for the pro
Oh, yeah, that's right. I
the
completely
Pro Am
forgot.
2. So I just want to make sure, stay tuned to our YouTube channel because Ben's going to have some footage coming from next week's U.S. Drift Circuit licensing series event round 2.
Cool.
Right.
So just stay tuned if you guys want to watch.
Okay.
Gee whiz.
Jeez.
Golly gee willikers. All right, I'll let you go.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you and good night. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
I won't.